What's up everybody, this is Ven bringing you another MOC Spotlight where we take apart what you build. For today's episode we'll be taking a look at Shaman Dabez, or Dabez, created and posted to our message boards by Sparky. Now as always with each MOC Spotlight there are three fundamental qualities that I focus on: the overall appearance of the MOC, the build of the MOC itself, and the concept and ideas behind the MOC's creation. I'll be forming a personal opinion on this MOC based on these qualities, determining what areas the MOC excels in and which areas the MOC could use a bit of improvement on. Now let's get this started. Right off the bat I gotta say this MOC could be put on the list of LEGO creations that hardly look like they're made out of LEGO. Because immediately when I look at this I don't really think of LEGO. I think it's some sort of action figure with a really cool tribal aesthetic. I think of things like Tak and the Power of Juju or Dalsim from Street Fighter. It's got a very particular look and a distinguishable aesthetic to it. And not only does it evoke character, but also demonstrates a good bit of creativity and imagination. I mean, can you imagine holding a staff like this with only 3 fingers? No, because that's crazy, but this guy pulls it off just fine. There are a lot of really unique qualities that stand out to me when I look at this MOC, including the staff. Because I mean, that little dream catcher pattern it has going on here, all this stuff going on with the string, that is fantastic. That's like a whole new level of building with LEGO that I've never seen before. Now moving along is also wearing this large and complex looking golden headdress, which looks like it may signify some sort of importance or some particular role. Like maybe this is the thing where he comes from. Maybe this is what shaman wear on their heads to signify that they're shaman. And what's really cool about this is that there are other articles of clothing that you can see on this MOC. Like you can tell that this is a more human-like figure because it's pretty easy to differentiate what's supposed to be skin and what is supposed to be clothes, especially when some of the clothes are actually made out of cloth, which, by the way, wraps around this MOC quite nicely. And then to add to the whole tribal aesthetic, you can see that he's got a couple of spikes here and there. He's wearing leaves over his shoulders. I'm not sure what the purpose of the big spikes would be, if they're actually like part of his clothes or part of his body. I don't know, it's kind of weird. I won't question it too much because it still looks cool. And he's even got these like skull shoulder pads hidden right underneath the leaves. And man, to some of you Bionicle fans, doesn't this thing just scream blue heads? I think it does, and I'm digging it quite a lot. I don't even mind the fact that there are so many different colors in this MOC. With the greens, the browns, and tans and all that, it all really reminds me of the colors you just find in nature. And I'm not bothered by the gold and the red being included, because they add a nice bit of contrast. And they seem pretty realistic as to what colors you'd probably find on a figure like this. So with all that said, I don't really have much to complain about when it comes to the appearance, but there is one thing that does kind of set me off a little bit, and it's the face. Because it looks like he's got these big bulging eyes and just this large gaping mouth. Like this part right here where the top and bottom brown parts meet, it looks like a big wide grin almost, and it looks so unsettling. It's not even necessarily that it looks bad, it just looks kind of weird to me. Maybe a little bit spooky, scary. Are these nipple spikes? Moving on to the build, the torso and the head, all these portions look to be really well thought out and put together. I can't see, I actually literally can't see any structural flaws with it because it's all so well covered up. And this is part of the reason why I think this MOC doesn't really look like it's even made out of LEGO. It just straight up looks like a solid figure that you can pose and articulate however you want. It's worth noting that even though it doesn't have the most spectacular build with all these crazy functions built into it, all these moving parts or whatever, it's still great because it looks so good and so clean. And I mean, it makes sense for the builder to mostly focus on aesthetics because this was built as an entry for a contest known as the 2017 Bio Cup. Oh, just thought of another thing that this reminds me of. The Skull Kid from The Legend of Zelda. Sorry, it was on the tip of my tongue this whole time, but I didn't really think of it until now. But while we're on that subject, for those of you who may be asking what is the direct inspiration for this MOC, well, allow me to provide you with Sparks' little backstory for this character. It's pretty short and simple. It's just some guy who decided one day that he wanted to be the best shaman that ever existed, and that's it. The end. And with that is all the context I really need. It looks to me like a shaman type of guy, and it looks cool, and in the end I think that's all that really matters. And that's all I gotta say on this, so great job Sparky, Sparks, Congrats for making it onto the MOC Spotlight. I do sincerely hope to see more out of you, and I wish you good luck in the Bio Cup. And as for the rest of you viewers, as always, I strongly encourage you to share your own LEGO creations to the message boards at board.ttvchannel.com under the category literally called LEGO Creations. That is where you may post your own MOCs for the possibility of being chosen to be featured on the MOC Spotlight. So I hope to see what you guys got, and until then, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.